All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Living the Dream podcast. Today we have Wize on the show, and we're going to get to hear a little bit more about him, his dreams, and his goals, and how we can help. Wize, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing well, brother. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, of course. Thank you for coming on. And we like to jump right in. So if you could start with just telling us a little bit about yourself and some of the stuff you like to do for fun, that'd be great.
Um, my day job, I'm a table games dealer at a casino. But after that, I'm a content creator. I started podcasting April of 2020. I was furloughed from my job, and I had already been wanting to do a podcast. I actually purchased me uh Behringer studio equipment set from Amazon for like $160. And I had been messing around with the equipment for over a year. And I just kept making excuses to why I wasn't doing it. I was like, oh, I suck. I sound horrible. Who would want to listen to me? Why would I want to do a podcast? And I was like, nah. So I got furloughed March of 2020 for my job. And then I was sitting here with my nephew, and I didn't even have the cord to hook up the phone to the mixer. So I was holding the mic to the phone, and I decided to press record, and stuck in my mind podcast was born.
Yeah, yeah, awesome, man. I love it. I love it. And so tell us a little bit more about Stuck in My Mind and what's the vibe of the show. And
It's just me having a conversation with some great people. I've had celebrities, I've had coaches, I've had some high school friends come on and talk about their success. And it's just me having a conversation. I don't script anything. Probably might speak for a couple of minutes prior to the show, but other than that, we don't even really communicate. We'll send an email here and there, but I just wanted to flow organically and let the people have tell their story and let them be comfortable and just have a good time. And for the most part, I've been blessed where I've just had some amazing guests. Like the conversations that I've recorded, that I've have in the box right now. Like I'm so hyped to get them out. But it's, as being a podcast yourself, it's a lot of work. Doing a podcast is a lot of work because editing and everything. But now that I'm doing video, I don't worry about the audio aspect of it anymore. I just use the same audio that I receive from doing the video, and so it's made my life a little bit easier now with the most recent episodes. But I still have like over 50 audio episodes that I really do need to sit down and edit and release.
you know what's funny, man? When I started this podcast, I was not being consistent with it because I was like, I hate editing. Like it just, bro, I hate it. So I just don't even edit this show. Which probably, eventually I'm gonna have to hire an editor because you obviously want quality content coming out. But that like getting started, I'm glad you took that step when you were kind of like sitting back and using your excuses to not take it, because that's the biggest thing, man, taking the step.
Yeah, it's for the most part is like you said. Eventually, you want to give your listeners quality content. So I invested in a much better mic. I have or Audio Technica mic. I have me the Rodecaster Pro. I felt that I wanted this is what I want to do. So then I invested in myself. I invested in some better equipment because, like I said, people are giving me their time by listening to me. So I want to give them the best quality content I can. I want my sound to sound good. I want my guest sound to sound as good as possible. So I use StreamYard to record, and I use the Rodecaster Pro to record the audio part of it. So it's been amazing this past year and a half doing the podcast. I've made some amazing friends. December, I'm actually sponsoring indie podcast movement, the indie podcast, and I've I've just been able to do so many different things by stepping out of my comfort zone. Like I said, I made up excuses like, oh, who would want to listen to me? Well, obviously people do want to listen to me because I have over 5,000 downloads in within the year, and then my following on Instagram is growing as well. So I'm doing something right. But I'm having such a great time doing it.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem better, and that comes with time. This isn't my specialty. I'm a table games dealer.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. I love it. And so tell us a little bit more about, your motivation for the podcast and what got you started, what keeps you going.
Um, it's funny because the wife, like I said, I was furloughed, and the wife had a honey to do list. And if I didn't find something to do, I would have just been drowning in that to do list. So I was like, yeah, I need to find something creative to do. And I had, like I said, I had already wanted to do a podcast. I had me and a friend were going to do a sports podcast. We just couldn't never get together. So I just was sitting with my nephew one day. He had already been doing YouTube. We just started talking. And when we started talking, I just pressed record, and it was just born. But what motivates me to do it is after a while, when I started having guests on, and friends would reach out to me and be like, hey, dude, you sound good. This episode that you did with this such and such person, that pushed me to go do this and start my own business. So when you get messages like that from personal friends of yours that they actually listened to the show and the episode actually was able to touch them and inspire them to do something great, that's motivation in itself. That just makes you want to go out and grind more.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I completely agree. And so it started with, your wife had a to-do list for you. You were furloughed. You wanted to get something going. But then once you got it going, you started getting some feedback from people. You were changing people's lives. You were having a serious impact on people you cared about. And that's kind of what's keeping you going now.
Yeah, it is. From me starting a podcast, I was able to start a production company. I have an internet radio station. It's allowed me to go in and connect with some amazing people and build networks, and that's what's key in this is going out and networking with people and building networks with people, because that's what drives us. This is why this community is so amazing, because we're able to. I don't feel like anyone is my competition. I want to grow and develop and learn as much as possible from anyone. And if I know something and someone doesn't know the information, and their fellow podcasts, I'm more than willing to help, because I want them to put out great content. I just want to create some of the best content I can and just help people get over all this negativity that's going on.
Yeah, I think that's a great segue into our next section of the show. We talk about your dreams and goals. And so would you say that's basically your dream for the podcast, putting out quality content and helping people, cope with the negative situations in their life?
Yeah, and leave something for my grandsons. I got two beautiful grandsons that I want them to be able to look up and be like, hey, my grandpa did some things. So they're my why, they're my motivation. But it also it also pushes me to, like, because me and the wife have come to the conclusion that, listen, all this work and no play is not good. So we've decided every 6 months we're gonna go take a vacation and go away and unwind and just spend time and not wait till we retire to live our life. And so I feel that this is going to give me an opportunity to build something where I can not do the 9 to 5 and focus on building this and really sit down and enjoy my life and spend time with my family. Because I've always been a family oriented person. Family's always big for me. So as much time as I could spend with my family, that's who can ask for anything more?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so kind of tracing back to that first time you hit record when you said you were with your nephew, right?
Yeah.
What caused you to finally take that step and start recording?
Because we had already been talking about it, and it was just that time. We was just having it was a conversation we were having. It was just something about whatever was going on at that time. And it just I felt like, hey, listen, this is the introduction. And it was a quick little introduction. It wasn't even that long. It was probably like 5 minutes. And it was just an introduction, like, and hey, this is what I'm Wize, and we're coming with stuck in my mind. I can't even remember, but it was like 5 minutes long. And then from there, that just kind of like just being able to record at one time made me like, okay, I can do this. So it went from 5 minutes to 7 minutes to 20 minutes to now where I'm averaging between 35 minutes to an hour show. And I feel every time I get behind the mic, I just improve. My nephew was like, oh, maybe we shouldn't release this first episode until we're ready, like until we sound good. I'm like, nah, I want us to release it because I want people to see the growth. I want them to see where we started from. And you can tell the quality. You can listen to the first couple of episodes, and those are some of my favorite episodes, but you can tell the quality from then to now. And that's what I want. I want people to be able to see, like, hey, listen, this is where I started. I started from the bottom. I started with $160 setup that you can buy on Amazon and just my laptop. Now I have a little mini studio in my bedroom because I wanted to invest in myself and in what I'm doing. So when people ask me, like, what made you just press record? That's the first thing. Is everything else will come along. But if you have a little headset, whatever, or whatever, even if it's on your phone, just press record, and that's how you start.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. I love it. If there was a type of person that you could meet right now that would help you take the next step towards
GaryVee.
You said what?
GaryVee.
GaryVee?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Bro.
I love me some GaryVee.
Oh yeah. He's just blunt and honest, man. He doesn't sugarcoat it. He tells it how it is. And I feel like that's why I can really use a dose of that. Like, dude, stop fucking around and do what you got. Can I curse? I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good. You got it.
I know on my show I can curse, so I it's just
yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
It's him. It's just he's just straightforward, man. I love his honesty.
Yeah.
He's truly himself.
Oh, like in like the complete sense of being
yes, he is his authentic self.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and it's a big deal. I love GaryVee for that reason. Like authenticity is such a big deal for me because I lived such a fake life for so long. And, you know, parts of my life.
All of us did. We all did.
You know,
we all do. We all do. It's not. We all do. It's until when you start getting to this stage where you start realizing like this greater things than just money and all that. It's just enjoy your life and do what you gotta do. But yeah, you gotta do some hard work as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. GaryVee is awesome. Awesome. So what's one or two things that everyday people can do to help you both grow your podcast and meet GaryVee?
Support. Like for me, it's crazy because I tell people it's like, yo, it's not. But my podcast is not. It's free. You can download it for free. You can listen to it for free. It isn't. I don't charge for it. So just support. And that's one of the things that's key. That's one of the things that's key is you realize that the people that are really that you would really think would support you don't. And then you meet these amazing fellow podcasters that they show you nothing but love and help you build your audience and build what you're doing out there. So it's just a wake up call. You get to really see like who really is out there to support you. And again, I tell a lot of people, I say, listen, all you gotta do is press download, just or like, subscribe, something. Just that's the problem. That's one of the issues that we have in the minority and being a minority and all that. Because one of the first things they want is a discount. When you go to a store, like, yo, what's up? Can I get a hookup? Like, bro, why can't you like this? I have a business. Like, why is the first thing you're looking for is a hookup? Like, if you used to go somewhere else, if you were to go to Macy's or wherever, one of these other stores, department stores, you wouldn't be getting a hookup. You would be paying full price. So why is it what we have to support each other? And I support all my friends. I have a friend who made custom Nikes. She redo Air Jordans, and I had a pair of Air Jordans here that they were dogged. So she said, "Yeah, I make shoes." She said, "Yeah, I'm starting out this new business," and so my sneakers were one of the first sneakers she ever did, and I paid whatever she asked me for it, and I didn't really care. I just wanted to support and help her build her business, and I feel like that's what we need to do. Is just if all it takes to help to support someone is to like something or download something. Why is it so hard? Why is it so difficult for us to do that?
Yeah, no, exactly. I feel that. And so I know you mentioned it a little bit, talking about, when you get started with entrepreneurial things, the people you think are going to support you typically don't. And then people who come out of the blue typically are the ones who support you. How did that affect your mindset and your emotions starting out? And how did you get through it?
It didn't. It didn't, because I was already aware. I kind of already knew, because I've had this entrepreneurial spirit since the early 2000s, and I've done all type of network marketing and all this stuff. And the first things that people tell, even though if they're not, the first things people say, "Oh, it's pyramid schemes."
Yep.
And and I tell them, like, you know what's a pyramid scheme? Your job. That's what's a pyramid scheme. You know what I'm saying? Because
don't get me started.
Yeah, I know. but yeah, they don't look at, listen, you giving somebody 40 hours of your life every week. Like,
yeah.
I'm over it.
You take into account the opportunity cost, the commute times, how you schedule your eating, how you schedule your family time. It really affects all hours of your day to give them that 8 hours. And it's just like, man, it grinds my gears, let me tell you. And then it's like,
but that's not something. But see, that's something we're not taught that. We're not taught that. We're not taught to become entrepreneurs. We're taught, go to school, get an education, put yourself in debt. First of all, put yourself in $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 worth of debt before you even get a job.
Mm-hmm.
And then you might not even get a job in the field that you went to school for.
Or you might have to put yourself in more debt to even be qualified to get a job in what you went to school for. Oh, man, it gets me. Because I was a psychology major, and you can't really do anything in psychology until you go get your graduate degree or your PhD or whatever it may be. And so, yeah, it bothers me.
Yeah. And that's something we're not taught. We're not taught that. We're not taught about finances. We're not taught that this is how we invest. None of this. I wish this knowledge I've gained these last 10 years I've had when I was probably 18, 19.
Yeah. No.
Now when I'm 45 is when I'm like, oh man, this is like.
Yeah. Good news is you're still fairly young. Still really young.
Yes.
At least you're not
absolutely right.
Figuring it out.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Now I still have opportunities to really, and that's what I've been doing. That's why I started the production company. We launched the internet radio station. We've been building some great connections and networks. I'm working with some people, and we're building we're calling it the Independent Entertainment Network, and it's just a bunch of shows coming together, lining up sponsors, but working together as to working together so that we can get these sponsors to support all of us, to help all of us grow and develop. So it's been it's some great things that we have. My nephew that helped me start it all, we're actually releasing we're releasing his second book under the production company. So we're excited about that coming out towards the end of the month. Probably early November we'll release his book. I'm working on a book myself. So it's so many different things that podcasting has led me to other avenues, and so I'm excited. The future is very bright.
Yeah, exactly, and that's a good place to be. It's a good place to stand. Epic. So we're gonna actually, before we jump into our Thriving Three, tell us a little bit more about the internet radio station and the production company and what that journey has been like and where y'all are going with that.
Right now we just have music playing at the moment. Once in a while we'll go in to do a live. Like I had one of my guests on my podcast is Quote the MC, and he's a MC out of Harlem, and he's not into materialistic. His rap is more positive and more towards geared towards the community and everything. So after I had him on my podcast, I was like, yo, I'm starting this radio show called Artist Spotlight, where I bring in people who aren't signed, who aren't on major labels, who haven't had their music played anywhere. I come on and have them for an hour and play 8 to whatever amount of tracks they have that they want to play, and then explain to what he wrote, what was his thought process during the song and all that. So with the radio station, eventually I want to have nothing but live shows. I want to give people who want to get into radio but don't know how to get into radio the opportunity to get a radio show. I want to give the opportunity to musicians that aren't signed to these labels to help them push their music. If I can be the first station to play their music and give them an opportunity to say that hey, my music has been playing on the radio, that'd be great. So it's just so many different things. We just want to be the voice for the people. We just want to give people the opportunity, that we just didn't have. So we're out there, we're here to give them that chance.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Epic. So now we're going to jump into our Thriving Three. And I just love to hear about how people are taking in information, how they care for themselves, and some of the action they're taking to really execute. And so my first question is, what's your favorite book, movie, or podcast? Pick one.
Lord of the Rings, the movie. Return of the King is actually my favorite.
Gotcha. Lord of the Rings. Dude, you know what? I don't even remember that movie. I know I've seen it, but I don't remember it. Wait, do you prefer the movie or the book, or
the movie, the last one, Return of the King, the last one of the movies, the 3 movies? I enjoyed the book as well, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. What is one way that you like to care for yourself?
Mani-pedis.
That is I do a lot of these. I'm trying to ramp up to a daily, and so I've done a lot in the past week. Second time I've heard that. So I love it. I'm gonna have to go get me a mani-pedi.
You have to take care. You have to take care of yourself, man. Like,
yeah.
My wife has made sure she's like, yo, it's mani-pedi time. So I know guys be like, oh man, nah, I'm not ashamed to say it. I like a good mani-pedi.
Yeah. Do you go with your wife, and is it like a date type of thing?
Yeah.
Or you just go by yourself?
We usually I'll go with the wife. We'll go for breakfast. We'll go mani-pedi, then go get breakfast, and then just make a day of it. It's just me and the wife.
That's epic. I'm gonna take that. Put it in my playbook for me and my girlfriend. Be like, hey, let's go get mani-pedis together.
You might shock her. You might surprise her. She might be like, what? Okay.
Yeah. Another reason that the last guy who suggested it to me said was that, like, you also can't be touching your phone because they're like massaging your hands and stuff. And so it's a lot easier to be present than it otherwise would be when you have your phone.
A nice spa day is good, man.
Yeah.
Because you don't have no phone. You can't bring your phone into a spa while you get a massage. None of that. You just they're enjoying it, just enjoying you to get taken care of.
Yeah. Yeah. No, exactly. I love it. Okay. What is one action step you can take right now or continue to take if you're already taking it to kind of scale up your podcast, scale up your internet radio station and production company, and meet GaryVee?
Oh man, I just honestly, ads work. I've come to realize that me boosting up some of my stuff really does work. I've seen it happen. Like I've both boosted videos and boosted certain podcasts and seen the numbers and seen them jump up. So definitely boosting more ads and more marketing. Uh, Definitely, I need to really do some more Instagram. I've actually, now that I can actually upload from my desktop to my Instagram, I've actually started putting my inspirational quotes onto Instagram. So
I love it. I love it. So you didn't have Instagram on your phone or anything?
yeah, I did, but it's like most of my recordings, I do it here at my desktop. So to transfer it to my phone, I'll email it. So now I can just upload the videos directly onto Instagram, and the videos are there. So
You know what might literally make your whole life so much easier with just a little bit of investment? It's called later.com. And you can schedule posts on Instagram. So if you have a lot of backlogged videos, backlogged posts that you've created, you can schedule out like 50 days worth. And you'll be like,
really,
oh yeah, man. It's like maybe $14.99 for like, I think it's $14.99 a month to like be able to schedule out 60 days, unlimited posts or something like that. Don't quote me on that. But go to later.com, check it out, because getting on Instagram every day and posting is hectic, but making a lot of content on like one Saturday or something and then scheduling it out over 21 days gives you the consistency that you need to really scale. And that's something I learned. I always beat myself up for not being very consistent. And maybe it was something I hated and that's why I wasn't consistent with it. Or maybe I just didn't have the time. Regardless, you know, as an entrepreneur, learning how to leverage tools and other people for consistency is key. It's so key.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's which I need to do now with all these audio podcasts. I think I'm gonna just put them just upload them and schedule them and just get them out there. Like not worry about the editing right now. I know there's some of them they need some touch ups, but I need to get that back because I'm probably like 2-3 months behind.
oh man,
Like
yeah.
I'm releasing episodes now from June. Like stuff I recorded in June, I'm releasing now. So I really need to get all that back order up to date and get those episodes out. So I'm thinking I'm probably gonna be doing like 3 episodes a week.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. That's awesome. Um, but yeah, man, see who you can bring on, see who you can partner with. I know I have a VA now, and she has been a lifesaver. Like you would not be on this podcast right now without my VA, and it has just been the most helpful, most beautiful thing ever. And it's like a mutually beneficial. It's just cool, man. It's just
How
really
much did you pay? How much did you pay for your virtual assistant? I need
yeah,
one of
man.
those.
This is where I had to check myself on my morals actually, because she's from the Philippines, right? And so I'm paying her $4 an hour, US dollars. And I first read this in The 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. Hated it. It disgusted me. I was like 18 and I was like, you're just
I'm actually reading that book now.
yeah, dude, he talks about hiring a VA at some point in the book. And I was like, I just felt like I was extorting them. And then I looked at the minimum wage in the Philippines and it's like $1.25 an hour or something like that. And it's because our currency is just stronger there. And so
Yeah.
as I scale up the podcast, I'm going to have the capability to pay her $10 an hour, which won't really hurt me, but will really help her. And so it could be mutually beneficial. Plus, I'm training her on skills and tactics that she can use in her later in her career as a VA. And it has just helped me so much. Like this past week, you know, her mom was in the hospital and she needed her check in advance. And it was 80 bucks for 2 weeks because I only hire her for 10 hours a week. And I was able to send that to her because I had it in my bank and I was able to put her in a position to help her mom out. And so I've really changed my perspective around it. Still feel about it. Like I want to get her to the point where I'm really changing her life by paying her a better salary. But it has just helped the podcast out so much and helped me out and my stress levels out. So I'd suggest looking at leveraging. Maybe it's a VA. Maybe it's like some type of intern. Maybe it's a family member that you just partner with, but leverage something, man. Leverage something.
I'm definitely gonna do that. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna look into that.
Yeah, if you want more information on the VA, we can connect offline. This isn't a podcast about how to hire a VA. So, but yeah, man, let me know for sure. Awesome. Well, is there anything else you want to chat about before we sign off?
I'm good. Oh, can I just say where they can find the radio station and stuff?
Oh yeah, for sure. And that'll definitely all be in the show notes too if you send it to me.
Okay, yeah. It's www.realwiseradio.com. And then the web for the production company is www.realwiseproductions.com.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, if you were listening to this podcast and you liked what Wize had to say, connect with him. Maybe he'll have you on the podcast. Maybe you guys can build that network and it be a mutually beneficial relationship because we're all out here to help and support each other in our dreams and goals.
Oh, you know you got to be on my show, right?
Oh, yeah, man. I'm coming.
Okay. I just making sure you know you got to be on my show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Awesome. Wize, thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it, man. And if you're listening to this, make sure to connect. Also, make sure to go drop us a 5-star review on Apple iTunes, the podcast platform that Apple has. And most importantly, send this episode to one person who needs to hear it, who needs to hear about the entrepreneurial journey, who needs to hear about that you don't have to be stuck in that 9-to-5 life. You can enjoy life. If they need to hear that message, send this podcast to them. Thank you guys so much for listening. Wize, thank you for being on the show. We're out.
Peace.